Welcome to Road to the Isles Tune Workshop, Lesson 1. All the workshop details you can find below the video, but let's get rolling. We're starting off on low A, so all the fingers are down on the chanter and the thumb's down on the back of the chanter. The pinky on the bottom is up. That's our low A position. That's the first little part we're tackling, and we'll do more than that in this lesson, so don't panic. We're going to get a nice little chunk of the start of the tune here. So that low A, we can do a G grace note, top finger up and down. Even if you're scared of a grace note, so you're not doing much for grace notes just yet, we're not going anywhere with that grace note, so you can just lift that finger up and down. So after that grace note, we're going to transition from A to D. Drop that pinky down on the bottom hand, lift up the other three fingers of the bottom hand. And then that next note, a little bit trickier transition, D to F. And if that's a new transition to you, good place to pause the video and just work on that. What we're doing there is we're dropping down those three fingers of the bottom hand, lift up the pinky of the bottom hand. At the same time, lift up the bottom two fingers of the top hand. So that's a tricky transition. Now, if you want to get there with that G grace note, you're going to have to lift the top finger of the top hand a little bit before you lift the other fingers of the top hand. And before that top finger comes back down on the chanter, you need to drop the three fingers of the bottom hand. So this is kind of a confusing one to kind of spell out for you. So another way to explain it, even though that top finger in theory should come a little bit first, it's like all the fingers are lifting. You go to the low A position on the bottom hand, and then that top finger grabs the chanter again. So that's with the G grace note. So here's what we got so far. So these next three notes from that F, we're going to go up to high A. Bottom hand does nothing. It just stays in that low A position with the pinky up. Top hand, we're going to lift the top finger and lift the thumb, and we're going to at the same time drop that ring finger or the bottom finger of the top hand to that high A position. From that high A, we're going right back to F, and then we're going to drop down one note to E. If you're not doing the grace note, this is what it'll sound like. So that high A to F, we just do the opposite of what we just did, and then we drop one finger down to our E. And if you want to get there with the G grace note, from F to E, that top finger has to lift first, then you drop down the second finger, and then that top finger comes down last. So this is what we got so far. I'll do the non-embellished version first, then I'll do the embellished version. That's what we got so far. Here's the embellished version. So let's do just a little bit more in this lesson, and then you're done, and then you can go away and practice. I'll see you in lesson 2. And again, the link's below for all the workshop details. So the little bit more we're going to do, we're going to tackle in that D throw. So we're on the E already. We go up one note to the F, and then from that F, and we just go up by lifting one finger. From that F, we're going to go to a D throw. If you're not doing a D throw, it's just simply going to be. And you've already paused the video and worked on that transition. So you got it. Just that F to D. So we've already talked about that transition, but let's talk about that D throw really quickly. So from F, we're going to drop down to low G. So this time, even the pinky is down covering the hole. All the fingers and thumbs are on the hole. Then we do that grace note, this time with the top finger of the bottom hand. That's our D grace note. Or C grace note, pardon me, maybe. But anyway, top finger of the bottom hand. And then we lift up to C, then we lift up to D. And this is like the slow motion version. It does have to get faster, but you gotta start somewhere. And then slowly, as your fingers work on, get more comfortable with that, you can speed it up to D throw speed. And let me just play all together one more time, no embellishments, and then with embellishments, including that D throw we just worked on. And then that's lesson 1 is all a wrap, and I can't wait to see you in lesson 2. Oh, I'll do non-embellish first. And here's the embellished version. So can't wait to see you in lesson 2. Until next time, happy piping!